Today is June 17th, 2014, and I'm just taking a tour of the garden. These are marigolds and geraniums. This is petunias, I think. It's just my front porch here. This is red Russian kale, which I have been eating, and it is very good. Some more flowers. I'm not sure what the shadow is letting you see. I'm going to walk around to the backyard. Plum trees. Getting some plums. These are onions and pepper plant. I think that is bell pepper, perhaps. And this is brandywine tomato. Pretty small, but doing well. Eggplant I just put in because I lost a tomato plant there. Onions. And these tall plants are carrots gone to seed. This is the first time I've ever experienced carrots gone to seed. Left some in over winter, didn't know about it. Came up this spring. And now we have flowers. And we're going to have some beautiful carrot seeds. They were heirlooms, atomic red, cosmic purple, and burlingame. This is more tomato plants back here. These are Baxter's Bush cherry tomatoes, and they're doing very well. We've had a lot of rain. Nice moderate weather, not too hot. It's been very nice. This is Black Beauty eggplant. This is bell pepper California Wonder. Looking a little shabby, but I think it's gonna make it. And this is my broccoli. Very excited about this. I thought sure it would go to seed and bolt, but the weather has just stayed very nice. It's another broccoli plant. Some volunteer lettuce. Some more volunteer lettuce there. Pepper plant, the coffee can here. Another pepper plant. Some onions. Another broccoli plant with a beautiful big head in there. And then this is volunteer yellow squash, the lemon variety, heirloom. So should be getting some squash pretty soon. Another broccoli. This is red Russian kale gone to seed. And I just recently learned that you take these little pods, once they dry out, I don't know if you can see, and that's where the seeds are. And there are a ton of them. This bush is huge. But I've left it here so I could get the seeds, and for the flowers, it's attracting lots of bees. So, here's another broccoli plant, if you can see. And back behind here are radishes that I just stuck there because I had space. They're doing well, and more onions. Onions are all pretty much down the border to kind of keep the pests away. And this is all volunteer lettuce here. All over my garden. It just planted itself this year in the walkway. And some other greens that I planted here. Mostly weeds I cannot get rid of. This is blue scotch curled kale, which is very yummy. And some onions that came up this year. Guess I left them in the ground last year. And this bed is green beans, and I have some tomato cages here because I was having to cover them for hail protection. We've been having a lot of storms, but luckily no hail. Very little hail, and I haven't had to start over with anything yet. So thank goodness. Some more lettuce. Green beans, these are bush beans, 3 different varieties: Homestead, Bush Blue Lake, and Top Crop. And this is my herb bed that I was hoping that was going to be an herb bed, but only my cilantro and my dill is growing here. I think I need to work on the soil a little bit. I have one little basil plant. Here's some thyme transplants. These are the only transplants I put in, and sage. The rest I from seed. I do have one Cherokee purple tomato, but everything else I started inside myself back in March, February, and of course direct seeded a lot of things outside. This is my strawberry bed, and some volunteer flax, I think, here from our neighbor's yard. Very excited about the strawberry bed. It's just new this year, so next year we should have strawberries. And fruit trees, pear tree, apple tree, we're doing well. And this is the view of my main garden area. And as you can see, there are lots of buckets and containers and junk everywhere. Hail protection. I need to get a better plan. I think I'm going to use the biggest shade cloth I can find and just tie it to the corners. And I think I saw that on another YouTube video and it inspired me. This is cayenne peppers in a container. I think there's 4 plants in there. 5 plants. They're starting to bloom. Cilantro and basil in here. And volunteer lettuce in a drawer. Let's go over this way. This is I had a ton of radishes here. They're gone to seed. I've mostly pulled. There was mustard greens. This is all lettuce here. I think it's iceberg variety or butter crunch. I'm not sure. And we have some lima beans coming up here. I just put in a week or so ago. And this is spinach gone to seed. Did really well this year. Had a lot of spinach. Just got a little too hot for it. More lettuce back here, more lettuce coming up in a row back here. This is my watermelon. Seems to be doing good, but it's a lot slower than the cucumbers or squash. So hopefully the soil, it's a new bed, so hopefully the soil is gonna work for it. This is the view here. I just weeded yesterday. Weed eated the garden and it's looking good. This is cucumbers. And they're planted all along the fence. Climb the fence here. And this is my new pepper bed. Lots of containers to cover things up when it storms. These are my pea plants. They're doing very well. Got some that are climbing almost all the way to the top of the fence. Need to get out here and pick some peas this morning. We go all the way down. And down here is some more volunteer lettuce. I think this is black-seeded Simpson. Looking amazing. And a celery plant that I think I did not water for a day or two. And you have to keep watered. Heavily mulched and watered. But it will die. And I had space here, so I put in some more radishes, and those are looking like they're ready to pick. Clementes. This is my tomato bed. Some of them are caged. Some of them are still small yet. Try to keep the cages off of them as long as possible so I can cover them up. Then I have to cover the cages. But there are mostly cherry tomatoes this year. That's what did best. They're a little easier to grow. These are just a hybrid large red cherry. And there are Baxter's bush. There is Psychospaternal. It's an heirloom. There is Pontano Romanesco here, and beefsteaks here and there. I think this is a beef. No, this is cherry tomato again. Okay, so looking good this morning. Oh, here's my basil coming up. After it didn't come up in my herb bed, I planted it in this barrel and it is doing very well. Purple and green basil, which I'll have to thin out. A lot of it came up. 2 more tomato plants over here. They're just cherry tomatoes. Some marigolds and some more basil planted in front of them. Okay, along this fence is pole beans. Okay, and then I have one cantaloupe plant I'm going to let grow up the fence here. Where is it? There it is. And lettuce, more lettuce. It's everywhere. And these are my potato plants. They're huge. Here's the top of the fence. It's like a 4-foot fence. And they go all the way down. And they are flowering. So I should, I might get to dig up the potatoes in 2 or 3 weeks. Not sure. I have to wait till they die back. And here is, eggplant. This is an heirloom variety. And then of course rhubarb behind that. And some lettuce, again, volunteer. And this is a Black Beauty eggplant here. And beside the potatoes, there's a row of lettuce. This is more volunteer lettuce. This here I planted. I love this romaine type lettuce called Claremont. And then there's New Zealand spinach here, which does really well in the heat. When all the lettuce kind of goes in August, this stuff stays. I don't know if I've got it on the camera here. New Zealand spinach. It's doing very well this morning. More lettuce. And I think I have buttercrunch down here. I kind of like the shade of the potato plants. And in the wheelbarrow I have more greens. It's just an Italian blend, mostly gone to seed. Arugula, mostly. And my other volunteer lettuce patch. It's everywhere. I've given so much away this year. It's been great. That's mostly the Claremont romaine type, and some red leaf lettuce. And I have acorn squash here. So when the lettuce is done, this will take over the bed. And then acorn squash. And then cantaloupe. I think it's the green flesh. Can't remember, but it was really good last year. More lettuce. And this bed is the carrots. I've got atomic red, cosmic purple, and Burlingame. And I got a new random volunteer New Zealand spinach in there. They're doing very well. And this is zucchini. I've got an heirloom variety, and I've got, I guess it's just an organic from Burpee. And this is yellow squash. One of them is an heirloom, the lemon squash, and one of them is crooked neck. This one took a little setback. I left it covered up during the day from a storm and lost some leaves, but it's bounced back right back. I think this is the heirloom variety, and this is the crooked neck. Looking good. Gonna have some squash pretty soon in a couple of weeks. And over here is more pole beans that just popped up a couple of days ago, yesterday. And celery. My celery in containers are doing very well. I planted them a long time ago. I just planted that one last week. Finally got the rest of my plants out. But that is pretty much it for this garden. This is a rose bush, mostly going away. And in this barrel container, I planted some more carrots and some more basil. These are perennials that are here. This is echinacea. I think I planted last year. Came back up. Some wildflowers. Irises. Roses. And my lavender. Planted last year. Didn't do a thing. And then it came back this year. Now it's starting to flower. Daylilies. Volunteer tree. Need to cut that one down. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, my celery. It's still in the garage because I was trying to keep it out of the heat yesterday. It got up past 90. So I brought it in the shade in the garage so it... There we go. Look at those beautiful plants. I didn't know. I never tried to grow celery before. Didn't know how it would do. So... they are doing amazing. I even have little stalks in there forming. I don't know if I can get there to show you, but I think I might end up with some celery. Pretty excited about it. They like it cool, 50 to 70 degrees, ideal for them. So I'm going to see if I can bring them in during the day. Alright, thank you very much.